All right, welcome everybody. So we're here today to talk about planning for the end of life of Windows 10. Um, my name is Isabel Schmidt. I am the fractional CIO at Improving IT. I work with organizations to develop IT roadmaps, strategies, help them work through their technology to make sure that it's impacting their business and working for their organization as best it can. So Windows 10, we're reaching the end of an era. Windows 10 was launched in 2015, and Microsoft described it at the time as the last version of Windows, signaling kind of a shift from Windows as a major release and product to Windows as a service. Instead of going through major release cycles like Windows 7 and Windows 8 and then Windows 10, it was going to be a continuous approach of constant improvement. Um, Windows 10 really kind of represented that pivotal moment in Microsoft where they shifted from those big major milestones to continuous improvement, and it advanced security and performance. The overall experience was much improved. The operating system was designed to meet the evolving needs of users, particularly over time. This was a really pivotal moment for small businesses as they moved from kind of traditional on-premises infrastructure to start becoming cloud first. Migrating to Microsoft 365 with hosted Exchange instead of that on-premises small business server that so many organizations were still on at the time. Windows 10 and their kind of continuous improvement cycle that they had brought in allowed the operating system without major upgrades or reinstallations and migrations to allow the operating system to evolve as it was needed. There was a lot of people that kind of resisted. Most small business was still on Windows 7 at this time when Windows 10 came out. A lot of organizations never did adopt Windows 8. And so there was a pretty large shift in what Microsoft was doing when going from kind of a classical operating system like Windows 7 to Windows 10. And it did a lot better job of introducing some of the features that they tried to bring into Windows 8 and 8.1 that weren't well received. So it had significantly better task management, much better support for things like multiple windows. A big one, which was a major shift for Microsoft, is that it was a free upgrade from either Windows 7 or Windows 8. You could just simply move to Windows 10 without repurchasing. It brought back that customizable start menu that Windows 8 and 8.1 had lost with the kind of that full screen start screen instead of a menu. And it introduced a lot of features that weren't part of the Windows 7 era, like Windows Hello, which gave biometrics for like facial recognition and fingerprints to increase security while increasing convenience. This era of Windows 10 is coming to an end on October 14th, 2025. The new era is Windows 11. So Windows 11 offers more security. It has stronger hardware-based features. It expands on things like the Windows Hello, and BitLocker, and some more virtualization support. It has drastically increased performance as far as memory management goes. It's got faster wake up times from sleep or from boot times. It's more efficient and energy efficient, especially on newer hardware. It's got more streamlined update processes. And with those tighter hardware requirements that we'll go over in a minute, Windows 11 delivers better stability and performance across all supported devices. It has productivity features like snap layouts and groups. It has a redesigned multitasking experience, a really much bigger focus on multiple desktops and multiple workplaces. So there's a lot of features to be gained by moving to Windows 11. So a new-ish requirement that Microsoft has in Windows 11 is that there's some actual hardware requirements that they've pretty much always been soft on in the past. So Microsoft has always had their minimum system requirements for their operating systems and things, but they were more like, if you didn't meet that, you just didn't have great expectations for how Windows 10 or previous versions would perform. But you could still install it for the most part on hardware that didn't meet those requirements. Windows 11 has set hardware requirements in the CPU, in the security platforms, and in the amount of specifications you have regarding memory. So what does this look like? You need to have an 8th generation CPU or an equivalent model in the AMD line. That's 8th generation Intel CPUs. And these are computer processors from around the 2018 era. So this ensures smooth performance and efficient multitasking, as well as giving you advantage of the security features that are part of these generations of computer processor. The Trusted Platform module is a mandatory requirement for Windows 11. And so this enhances security by providing hardware-based encryption to support a lot of the things that Windows 11 is doing, particularly around AI and things like that, like your modern cell phone. There's a lot of personal information that's going into Windows and the operating systems and the things you do now. And that's all needs to be secured. And Microsoft kind of understands that, and they're really putting security first into Windows 11. And so along with the security features of the CPU and the TPM, you do have to be running in what's called secure boot mode. And this just makes sure that as your system boots, it prevents malware and unauthorized software from being able to load up during startup. So this drastically increases the security to protect against ransomware and viruses and things like that. The soft requirement is 4 gigs officially, but really organizations are going to want a minimum of 8. Most new devices these days are coming out with at least 16 gigabytes of RAM. So what do these things, particularly the CPU and TPM, mean for your Windows update? Well, to check if your computer meets the minimum requirements, you can go into Settings and Privacy, and then go to Windows Update. You'll see an option there where you'll have the option to upgrade for free to Windows 11 if your computer qualifies. And then there'll be a link there that also, has some checks that you can do against your computer to see if it works. The Trusted Platform module that you can find out whether or not your computer qualifies here, again, by going into Settings, Updates and Security, Windows Security, and Device Security. And then you'll see an option there for Security Processor Details. And the thing that you're looking for here is that line that says the specification version is 2.0. If you don't see Security Processor Details, it could be that it's turned off on your computer, or it might not have one. So it would be best to refer to your computer's documentation or specifications to see if it is there. And if it is, you might need to go into your boot up settings of your computer, sometimes called BIOS or UEFI. And this is where you configure your hardware before Windows boots. Quite often it'll say like press 1 to enter setup or something like that while your computer's first turning on. You could have an option in there to turn on your Trusted Platform module. Refer to your vendor's documentation or your vendor's support if your computer meets the other requirements, but you don't have information on your security processor details. So one of the things we really want to highlight here as well is that staying on Windows 10 isn't an option long term. So Microsoft officially ends support for Windows 10 on October 14th, 2025. So this is the last quote unquote patch Tuesday that Microsoft is going to be rolling out updates for Windows 10 on. After that patch Tuesday, so your October patches, there will be no more security updates, there will be no more bug fixes, and there'll be no more technical support from Microsoft. Investing in new hardware might seem like a big step, but it really is worth it. So organizations that invest in modern hardware, you not only meet the Windows 11 requirements, but it also delivers faster performance and reliability. And these things, of course, increase employee productivity with fewer IT issues and downtime. Plus, Windows 11 is packed filled with all kinds of features like AI tools, productivity tools, that better multitasking, and advanced security that can help protect your organization from ransomwares. If you're reading online and you're looking for ways around it, can you fake doing the upgrade to Windows 11 on unsupported hardware? No, please don't do this. If you're following a guide or something that tells you how to disable that trusted platform module or bypass the CPU requirements, you're putting your organization at a tremendous amount of risk. These security features are in place with Microsoft Windows 11 for a reason. So instead of getting that smooth experience, you're going to be finding yourself battling slow performance, unexpected crashes on unsupported accessories and hardware, no access to security updates. If your organization really is looking at moving ahead, please do it on Windows 11 on supported hardware. So what can you do to move forward with your organization? Well, the start is you take a inventory of your assets, identify and document the capabilities of the hardware you have. Roll out upgrades to compatible hardware. That's, as we noted earlier, you can go to Windows settings and updates and security, and there'll be an option there to go to Windows 11 if your computer is supported. For hardware that it's not supported on, start scheduling the hardware replacements now. If you've got, say, 6 computers to do and you've got 3 months to do them, come up with a plan where you're replacing 2 computers a month for the next 3 months to get through those computers that are still aged out. If you have absolutely no other option, particularly around if you've got legacy software that's just simply incompatible with Windows 11 for some reason, Microsoft is offering a small paid for grace period called extended support. Extended security updates are security updates only. There's no new features, there's no design changes, and there's no general support from Microsoft. But it will keep your Windows 10 computers ticking along with the security updates that are absolutely essential in a small business. It's available for business editions like Windows 10 Professional and Enterprise. For the first year, it is $61 US, and that gets you 1 year of extended security updates. There will be additional costs for future years. In general, Microsoft has increased that price per device per year up to 2 or 3 years in order to give people some extra time, but they still really want to encourage you to move on to the new and modern operating system. Do we have any questions?
There are no questions.
No questions. Okay. If you would like to get started, and you don't know where to start, or you want some assistance in starting, you can book an initial consultation, and we can go through and help you develop a Windows 11 deployment plan, or at least take you through what you need to do to get started. Why work with improving IT? Well, here's a great quote from Scott Gallardi, the executive director of Ruth and Naomi's, a nonprofit mission here in our local city. We've gone through this process with them, and we are currently in a process of rolling out an additional round of new computers to bring them up to date and get them ready for that October deadline. Our next webinar is going to be on Microsoft Viva. Microsoft Viva is an engagement platform for your workforce. It helps you bring together and connect people in your teams. It helps do training through an organization's learning platform and lets you connect with coworkers from across the room or around the world. Microsoft Viva is an engagement platform for your business, for your organization, to increase culture inside of your workforce. We're going to be talking about that next month, July 30th, and you'll see the signups go out as well as in our newsletter. If you have any questions about any IT services we offer, please do reach out to us. hello@improvingit.ca for our email. You can find us on our website and book an initial consultation there. You can give us a phone call. You can follow us on LinkedIn. We quite often post about webinars and newsletters and other information that'll be helpful to your organization. I'm a people person. I like connecting with people. So reach out and connect with me directly on LinkedIn. Let me know where you found us and on this webinar. And I would love to meet with you. That wraps it up for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this webinar. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you next month.